one of the things I say about people is that our stories connect us. Everybody has a story, and everybody's story matters. So I was excited to share my story today. I pride myself on my practice actually having time to listen to your story. So I'm going to touch on the key points of my story today. Fit for Life came about after a season of hard, where I had to kind of put myself back in balance. I actually used the time of COVID to share my story with my followers. So I would encourage you, if you want more of the details, you can, on my YouTube channel, I have the videos, and also they're on my website via a blog post. And then just a little shout out to Joy for that beautiful website that you'll find. You can sign up for my email list. I send out a monthly newsletter, and the logo and my business cards are all because of Joy's beautiful artwork. So, okay. Okay, as I mentioned, Fit for Life was a leap of faith after a season of hard, and I'm going to share just a few of the seasons with you. So I've been a PT for 21 years now. 10 years I worked for a very reputable, wonderful company, an outpatient physical therapy clinic here in Menor. Loved them, felt loyal to them. They helped kind of make me into the therapist that I am. I really kind of consider them to be family. I was comfortable, but I was not doing well there as a wife and a mom of 4 kids. We worked in an insurance-based setting, very long days. I had 10 patients the days I was there, 45 minutes a session, no breaks in between, an hour lunch that really wasn't mine, lots of paperwork to do outside of hours. Because it was so manually based, my hands were on the patients the whole time. That's very energy draining, though rewarding. I wasn't doing well at home, being present for my family or being a good wife and mom. And so I'm going to step back for just a moment to give you a little bit of the backstory. The first season, the first struggle, I had a lifetime goal to qualify and run the Boston Marathon. And that's a long story because runners can talk about running a long time. But the short version is, it took a long time, but I did qualify and I did get there. And that was April of 2018. It was the worst weather in Boston Marathon history in 30 years. It was 30-mile-an-hour headwinds, and you only run one way. It was 30 degrees, and we got 3 inches of rain that fell in the 4 hours and 6 minutes that I was running. So that was the hardest physical struggle that I ever had to sustain for a period of time. And I really only finished because of my Philippians 4:13 prayer the entire time. He got me through that race, but I was not happy. In fact, I say it ruined me. I haven't run quite the same since, but I was angry that that was my victory lap that I'd worked so hard for. So I still had this feeling, though, that I think can be a reason that we glean from everything that happens, and I just had this feeling that something more was coming. We had been so blessed in my life, beautiful husband, 4 beautiful kids, pretty easy life. So that seemed like, boo-hoo, you had a bad race, It wasn't long after that race, though, that July 9th, July 9th, I think, of that same year, my husband was diagnosed, Joy? With prostate cancer at 47. So there was another season of hard coming that I would have to lean on my faith so hard for. I could talk again much about that, but I'll just say anybody that's gone through that knows the journey. And it was, for me, a way for God to just show me that there was something needed to change. I wasn't doing well before he had cancer. I really wasn't doing well trying to maintain working after. So he is fine, cancer-free, praise God. Once he was fine and over surgery and healing, then I had permission to not be okay. And I had depression and some of my own health issues that came as a result of that. Again, the season needed to change. I would be about halfway back up the mountain that I felt like I kept getting knocked down when the next season would strike, literally. 5 days before my oldest daughter turned 16, not good timing, we would be hit by a car. We were involved in a car accident, T-boned. Luckily, I was driving. She was far enough removed from the impact that hit my side of the car, and I would sustain a concussion and whiplash. New appreciation for my brain. It was about 7 weeks of not able to work, and all of the symptoms of concussion that you might experience: daily headaches, crying all the time, not difficulty, taking care of my family. So it was in this season, though, that God literally stopped me. I was invited to do a Bible study with a friend. I'd never done one before. It was called Jonah. Highly recommended if you haven't. But I recognized that I was Jonah, running from something more that God was calling me to do. I never had any inkling that I would hang my own shingle. I didn't want that. I didn't think I wanted that. But it was in that season that I recognized I needed to create something that would allow me to do what I know serves people, what is my passion to help people, but to create, it would have been the same thing if I went to any other practice anywhere else. I'd done this long enough. And so Fit for Life was birthed from that season. And even despite COVID, it's been tremendously blessed. And I feel like it's because for the first time I'm listening and I'm walking in the path that I'm supposed to be walking. And I was never, I was thankful to be able to close my doors when I wanted to, because my 4 children were all going through tremendous hurt that I needed to be there for them. So June was my best month back in business since I started, and so again, I just feel like I'm so very grateful. So I just wanted to, this will be my official Fit for Life commercial. That's my story. I help fit and active people recover from pain and injury to get back to doing what they love quickly. Your spine is my specialty. And I would love to be your go-to person before seeing a doctor, before getting an x-ray. You don't need a referral. Before you, many times my patients have seen countless healthcare professionals who don't really listen, who just want to throw medication at them, and they're on pain medications and have had injections. And so you could save valuable time and money and avoid pain by allowing me to be your go-to person. I also have a passion for working with runners, being one myself, having 4 children, many of whom run. And I have a very strong manual therapy skill set. Means I use my hands to help you feel better. I am out of network with insurance, and so what that means is like many chiropractors and dentists, I accept payment at the time for my services. Many of my patients use their flex spending or HSA accounts. That works well if you think ahead and you can put your self-care money aside. I'm not a traditional clinic, so it's just me, from answering the phones to changing the linen and treating the patients. So we are one-on-one. The time that I spend with you will be very, very manually based. Exercise is important, but I've always felt that can be done at home and should be done at home, so that I'm not counting your repetitions I don't have equipment. I have a table and I have myself in my hands. I believe in getting to the root cause of what's going on with you, so everybody kind of gets a posture assessment from head to toe, and it helps me figure out, just because your ankle is hurting may not be the main problem. It could be coming from somewhere above, and so everyone gets a good posture assessment. Okay, so my tip to help you be fit for life is the number one thing that you can do, you guys, to prevent neck and back pain is to respect your spine that God gave you and practice good posture. Posture, it really, if I could do nothing else with my patients, it is the most powerful thing that you can do. We bend forward thousands of times a day that we never stretch in the opposite direction. Many of us sit slouched, we sleep curled up in a ball, and that's just out of balance for movement for your spine. And so I like to teach patients something called slouch overcorrect, and I thought I could show you guys what that looks like, because just because someone says, you know, sit up straight or to have good posture, it's sometimes hard to know what that means. So the bag chairs are not good posture at all. You're gonna wanna sit like on a firm surface. So if you guys wanna try it, you can. If not, I'll just demonstrate. Sorry ladies, my back too. So what I encourage people to do who wanna find good sitting posture is first allow yourself to slouch to like the maximum degree, like give me your worst posture. And then what I want you to do is sit up as tall as you can with your chest up and your head pulled back, and that is like maximally overcorrected. So go through that a few times. It's actually good range of motion for your back to do that, so slouch fully and then overcorrect fully. And when you do that movement, you want it to come from your lower chunk, so not as much your upper chunk, as the movement should be occurring at your lower chunk. Can you guys feel the difference there? You see that? So once you slouch and overcorrect a few times, come up to the overcorrected position as far as you can, and then let that go about 10%. And that is where you should live. And that is using the muscles that you're wearing. It takes muscles. It takes you using your core and your back muscles to hold yourself there. It's okay to slouch, but if you can be respectful, especially for long periods of time, you'll do your spine health good. So I think that's all. Basically, many of these things that I've talked about you can find on our YouTube channel. There's a video demonstration of that exact number one tip for preventing neck and back pain. I have a whole playlist of exercises, home exercises, simple things you can do at home. My website, you can sign up for my blog, and if anybody has or my newsletter, the blogs are there too. All of the videos I've recorded about my story. There's more. There's some more details in there about the story that I left out that are tear-jerking, and I didn't want to do that today. So thank you guys. I'm happy to talk to anyone that would want to hear more information. Does anybody have any questions?
Can I say something real quick, just how I got to know Jen? My son, sophomore season, cross country, sprained his ankle, where they thought they would need surgery. They went to the doctor, and they're like, why don't you go try physical therapy first? And that's how Jen and I made the connection. And he was back running. He was back running for spring track. And then I had this mysterious hamstring issue that came out of nowhere, and she was able to determine it wasn't my hamstring, it was all coming from my spine. And the simple things that she has given me has like made a world of difference. So I mean, you need a lady who really knows